Good evening. How we all doing tonight? I know there's probably not so many people that are here yet, so we're going to just just go over a little bit. We are live and we are live on Twitch and YouTube. So again, guys, welcome. I know some people are it is going to be a little bit slow setting up, but I think we will definitely be seeing some fireworks very, very shortly. Okay. Is it not live? Okay. Where is everybody? I'm just checking to see if everything's okay. There we are. I was starting to get worried. I wasn't sure if anybody was showing up tonight. So it looks like we do have a few that are coming in. Finally. How you doing tonight, Tracy? We are going to have kind of an action-packed night. So we're going to discuss a lot of topics. So I think you guys are in for an enjoyable night. I am sending over a link to my computer so we can really get going and cover what we're going to cover. So just bear with me a little bit. You liking the new logo? Thanks to a few of our friends, we have a few friends over at Ranked Apparel who were gracious enough to design this for us. So the old logo, guys, is going to be going away. I got notified that somebody had already copyrighted the image. So they respectfully asked that I take it down and not use it anymore. So here soon, the logo that you see behind me will be the one that we use from this point forward. So, uh, as of about an hour ago, we're working towards getting all of that switched over. So, buying a t-shirt. Yep. They are Ranked Apparel is guys, this is definitely a plug for Ranked Apparel. They are a setup. They're newly setting up. They've been doing the apparel business for several years. They moved, they had to shut down. They moved locations. Now they're back up, back in business, running. They're owned by several Patriots. So we definitely want to show them some love. Any shirts, anything that is ordered through the store, guys, we are not putting anything on the store anymore. For right now, I am revamping the store, and then all of our stuff will be supplied by Rank Apparel. So, very, very shortly, we will be seeing a different side. We're going to see a different store, and people will be able to purchase with the new logo on it, different sayings. I mean, there's a whole bunch of changes coming. So, bear with me for a couple more days. It's been kind of a crazy time, but okay. So, I'm going to go grab a link real quick, get that pulled up, move a screen over. Business owner is one of them, and making some hard calls and basically taking down what we built for a store to make sure we utilize patriots who actually support what we do and who are willing to support everything that we stand for. So when we have a chance, they have a whole bunch of stuff that you can buy too. I'm not telling you to buy anything, but Ranked Apparel is the ones who came up with the logo. They are the ones that we are going to be using to produce the shirts. Welcome. I'm starting to see a whole lot of new faces. We're excited to have you here. I've been getting a whole lot of emails, guys, that really ask, what do we do? Where do we go from here? The Supreme Court turned everything down. People are making it seem like there's nothing going to happen. Okay, guys, there is something. Anybody who has paid attention to the Constitution, that knows the Constitution, will tell you there is one remedy under the law. We have only had 3 of them in our nation's history. The first one was to rewrite the original. We went from the Articles of Confederation. That was one where we went from the Articles of Confederation to the Constitution. And then from the Constitution, there were 2 others. And one was to ratify the 14th Amendment. And one was to, I can't remember exactly what the other one was, but right now we are getting ready to do a solid push for a convention of states. So we are going to discuss the convention of states, what it means, why we want to support this, and what can we do as a grassroots movement. What can we do to help further this along? If that sounds good for everybody, give me a thumbs up, and we'll jump right into it. We have more people tonight watching us from Twitch and YouTube. Today is the first time I'm actually streaming on Roku. It's just a beta test, so I haven't released a channel. I want to make sure that it's working properly before I tell everybody, hey, check us out on Roku. Okay, so we are excited about what's happening. We are excited about what we're building. We now have all the parts for a brand new server, which will be owned and operated by me. And we will be hosting other Patriot platforms on it. So after the server is built and built out, we will let people know. So if they want to host with us, we can take care of that as well in-house. So yeah, guys, enough of the shop talk, because quite honestly, it gets boring, right? I think so. I got this. Yeah, I've been putting in some long days. I know I've talked to a few of you guys over the course of the last couple of weeks. I have gotten to know quite a few of you personally, and I've been touched by many of your stories, many of your life experiences, because quite honestly, I'm probably the youngest person in the room. And I'm young, but I have a lot of life experiences and a lot of things that have happened. A lot of people don't really know my background. They don't really know why I'm driven to do the stuff that I'm doing. And I think it's really important that you guys understand that not only am I autistic, but I have Asperger's syndrome. I'm high functioning autistic. And it only took about 20 years of psychotherapy for me to even be able to come out of my shell enough to talk in front of crowds. I'm not one of those people who is naturally gifted at speaking. I'm not naturally gifted at sharing information, except for through like email or other things. So for me to come out and talk about the stuff I'm talking about, you guys are kind of in for a treat. And there's other people that I'm going to be bringing on, and they're all awesome people in their own mind or in their own ways. So tomorrow, mark it on the calendar, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We will be having a pharmacist, Daniel Sneeden. He has a doctorate degree in pharmacology. He is going to come on 10 minutes and talk about how we can stay healthy. Not only just stay healthy in the sense of how do we avoid the different viruses that are out there, but how do we prevent getting sick in the future? Or how do we give our bodies the best defenses against getting sick? So people that don't know my background, they don't know that part of me, they understand after hearing it, they're blown away. How can you do this? Guys, if it wasn't for the man upstairs, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So I'm just thanking God that I'm able to. 12 p.m. for the live stream tomorrow with the pharmacy or with the pharmacist is going to be 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And anybody that lives in Mountain or Pacific, definitely make appropriate changes so you guys can catch that. If you're not able to catch it, we will be posting it on the website and within 1 hour of it being completed. So keep a watch on the website. There's going to be some changes you're going to notice. Don't worry, they're good changes. We're revamping it. We merged servers, so we are getting bigger. We are definitely moving forward. And quite honestly, if I didn't have your guys' support, if I was still at just one viewer, I probably wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. So I had to prove to my wife, to other people, that I was worthy of the money that was being spent to make sure that you guys got the best content possible. Patriot News. Okay, so guys, we are in the middle of migrating the server. So if you're not able to get in, it's a temporary thing. We will have it up and running and easily accessible for everybody. So, okay. I got some explaining to do. Yeah. So, guys, it's a temporary thing. We will have that up. I'm hoping I'll have everything up and done and all the issues worked out before midnight tonight. And I'll be up at 3:00 in the morning to do more work. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into this. We are going to discuss the Convention of States and how can we push this forward? How can we, the people, take back the power that the federal government has taken from us? Even God rested, get your rest. Well, I only sleep 3-4 hours a night anyway. So moving on. If mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. Yep. I hear about that every single day. So without further ado, we're gonna jump into this, guys. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have friends that you would like to see what we're talking about, definitely share share the YouTube, share the Twitch. We want people to understand, and we want people to know that there is something that we as American citizens can do. We have to make sure people are able to say that yes, these guys did everything they could. We pushed it forward. Right now we're at 16 states. Let's get it to the 34 state threshold that we need with the 4 additional, and we got something that we can actually strive for. We need 38 states to ratify any changes that are made to the Constitution. And if you look at it on a limited standpoint with the Convention of State, so we send a message saying we are open and available for a Convention of States. We go as soon as we send that message and say that, we need to tell them, okay, this is what we want you guys to work on. Whether it's term limits, whether it's lobbying, all that stuff we have to include there in that initial bill. Because if we don't, then it's just carte blanche. So Congress people within our states. So see, our Congress people that we send to Washington, D.C. are not part of this process. And you'll see why shortly. This is a way to take that out of the federal government and put it to the states. So the states can take back power for themselves. So, okay, I'm going to quick read through the comments real quick and see if there's anything that pops out. And yes, we will definitely have more time. I'm glad you posted that in. But without further ado, we are going to jump over here to the Convention of States. And time, if you could, go and post that link. People, go to the link, fill out the petition, sign it, get to your Congress people so we can push this along forward. Definitely share this with other people. People have to hear people have to hear what's going on. We can't build a grassroots movement without first having the roots. And that's where you guys come in. That's where everybody, regardless of whether or not you're on the live stream or you are seeing this after the fact, everybody plays a part. We send this to every single person. So, guys, we have to do this. Good. Thank you, Time. I'm glad you grabbed that. So, guys, we're going to jump into it. We're going to see. We're going to really dive into why. Why call a convention of states? It's to bring back the power from the federal government to the states. The Constitution was written to keep government small. It was not to grow this behemoth that we call the federal government. We can go and sit down and discuss at these conventions. We can go sit down and discuss how can we change the trajectory that we're going. we can go in and say, we want to eliminate the central bank and the Treasury and direct the Treasury Department to start printing out the banknotes, to print out the money. Guess what that would do? That'd eliminate the power of the IMF and the central banks on the United States. Our national debt would be gone. So we really have to, guys, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the point where people can see me and they can see what I'm talking about. We have to get to the point where people understand why. Why do this? This is something that is not all that far outside of the realm of possibility. Like I said, it's been done 3 times in history. So if they've done it in the past, why can't we do it now? We already have 16 states that have already done it. So how it works. Can you guys hear that?
It gets bigger and scarier. In 1965, Washington was $761 billion big. In 2016, it was $3.5 trillion, 5 times the size. If the government spent all the taxes, that would be one thing.
I'm gonna do something, and I'm gonna try to get it fixed so you guys can hear all of it, because it is important. So give me a second. I will get that shared. We're going to share the audio here just so people can actually, we're going to go back down here.
The federal government has become a lumbering giant. With each passing year, it gets bigger and scarier. In 1965, Washington was $761 billion big. In 2016, it was $3.5 trillion, 5 times the size. If the government spent only the money it collected in taxes, that would be one thing. But it always spends more, which is why we're $20 trillion in debt. That's 13 zeros. Count them, 13. But the crazy spending isn't even the worst of it. Washington is involved in every part of our lives. Think about anything you do, from driving your car to buying your groceries to mowing your lawn. Whatever it is, your education, your job, your health, the government has its hands on your shoulder, if not on your throat. As a congressman and senator for 14 years, I know this only too well. So how do we cut this giant down to size? Is it even possible? Yes. And the amazing thing is the answer is right in front of us. The founding fathers in their wisdom foresaw the situation we find ourselves in today. They wrote into the Constitution a way to repair Washington, not from the inside, because that will never happen, but from the outside, where it might. It's right there in Article 5. Most people are familiar with the first part. The Congress, whenever 2/3 of both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution. All 27 amendments we have now started this way. Congress proposed them, and at least 3/4 of the states ratified them. But is this the only way to amend the Constitution? Well, let's read the next clause. It says that Congress, on the application of the legislatures of 2/3 of the several states, shall call a convention for proposing amendments. Did you catch that? Congress must call a convention to amend the Constitution if 2/3 of the states, that's 34 states, demand it. The time has come to demand it. The time has come to propose amendments that will restore meaningful limits on federal power and authority. The time has come for a convention of states. Here's how it would work. Once the 34 states call a convention, all 50 states send a delegate to represent their interest. For any constitutional amendments proposed, each state gets one vote. And an amendment only passes out of the convention and to the states for ratification if a majority of the state's delegates vote in the affirmative. In this scenario, Congress has no say. It is completely in the hands of the states, which means it's a whole lot closer to the hands of the people. We've never once amended the Constitution this way, but that doesn't mean we can't. But you might ask, doesn't this open the door to rewriting the entire Constitution? Antonin Scalia, the late Supreme Court Justice, acknowledged this risk, but regarded it as a minimal and reasonable one. Why? Because to be ratified, a proposed amendment would need the approval of 38 states. That's a high bar. 38 states would never agree to something radical like abolishing freedom of speech. The founders, Scalia said, knew the Congress would be unwilling to give attention to many issues the people are concerned with, particularly those involving restrictions on the federal government's own power. So they provided the Convention of States as a remedy. This should not be a partisan left-right, Democrat-Republican issue. This should be a who controls your life issue, you or the government. Today, politicians can turn your life upside down on a whim, kind of like King George in 1775. Being at the mercy of distant, disconnected rulers was why the American Revolution was fought in the first place. But we don't need a revolution. We have Article 5. So what amendments might a Convention of States
Good. Sorry about that. There was an echo. I shut off my microphone and then I started talking without turning it back on. How about now? Can you hear me yet? Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But I wanted to just stop that. I wanted you guys to see from somebody a little bit more knowledgeable than I am about this, because I can't just pick them up and pick up the phone and just call them. I mean, that might happen eventually, but right now it's just not possible. So we're going to get to that, Proud. So just hold the questions, and I'm sure you'll be able to have those answered very, very quickly. So, guys, do you think it'd be easy enough to share a petition to your friends and your neighbors, to your family members, to people that you care about, to people at the grocery store that may not know what it is that you're talking about? Do you think you can maybe even possibly share the podcast that you heard this on, or the live stream? This is when you start talking about putting power into the people's hands. I say every single night, you guys have a pen, you have a microphone. For heaven's sakes, you got a phone. Chances are a lot of you guys have been you guys are watching me on, a majority of you guys are watching right now on Twitch. There are some that are watching on YouTube, and I don't want to discount you at all. Okay. But you guys, each and every single one of you guys, this is our responsibility. I'm almost certain that if I was to do a poll through here, I could get a few of the states that are not on that list represented. But by the end within the next couple months, I'm sure we could get quite a few more. So again, I know there's people from Tennessee, we have people from all over. Okay. We have some that are just hiding in the shadows, and I know they are there because they told me they were going to be on here and they were going to listen. They're from Florida. So again, Florida is one of the states that is on that list of states that have already approved. There's 16 states that have approved. So here quickly, we will put up a list of the states that have approved it, and then all the states that have not, or it's went through one house or the other. Okay, so we're just gonna skip through there, and then if I have email addresses, I can send you this, or time, and you can throw that link back up in the chat so people can see it, and then I'll copy it over and send that over to people that are watching on YouTube. YouTube, nope. Unfortunately, California, probably not. I would say you're probably accurate there. So again, we are all about, when people ask, where do we go to sign this petition? Where do we go to? What link do we send people to sign that same petition? This is where. Only 9 million people out of 150 million voters have even signed this petition. Okay? We have a lot of work ahead of us. So I'm going to back out of this full screen YouTube, and then we're going to pull this back into view so everybody can see it. I wish I could talk about Canada, but I don't know enough about your guys' legislatures and all that stuff. So, but I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. So let's. Okay, guys, I eliminated myself for a very good reason. I wanted it to be as big as possible. So anything that's blue, it's active in the legislature this year. So that's Washington, Montana, Nebraska, Kentucky, South Carolina, Maryland, and New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Vermont. So, and then the ones that have passed one chamber, you have New Mexico, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, West Virginia, Virginia, and North Carolina. And yes, every state that is in green is ready to go. They've already passed it. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. The blue basically means that they have active legislation in this year to take care of that. So we have a lot of work ahead of us. It's not going to be an easy task. We want to make people want. Every night I get the same question. What can we do about the situation? Well, you guys have your microphones. You guys have your pens. You guys have your cell phones. Let's put them to work. We have 75 million people plus. Let's build it. Let's build a grassroots movement, the likes of which this country has never seen before. Who's with me? Because all of the okay, so I'm gonna put your comment on the screen. And the Trump campaign, Lindell, Dobbs, Powell, and others have proof of election fraud, and the United States corporation, and that the United States corporation was officially dissolved as of midnight on inauguration night, why do we need to keep moving forward with all the work? Well, here's my answer to you. So, just because something gets dissolved, it takes a while for the masses to even recognize that. It'd be just like me filing bankruptcy. I can file bankruptcy, and 9 months later, you find out about it. It's a slow process. There's a lot of people that literally have to go and get educated. They don't know what's happening. Yeah, they have the evidence. The courts said, we're not going to hear it. Where do you go from there? You take it to the Convention of States, which would actually be able to fix those laws. They could actually fix those amendments or propose new amendments that would pass. So that's why if California could get 1.5 for a recall, we should be able to get this done. Yes, guys, we should. And the number actually is closer to 1.9 million people have signed that petition for Gavin Newsom's recall. So I'm very excited to see that. California, I don't have a whole lot of good stuff to say about my home state. Yes, I'm from California originally. I was born in Lancaster. But guys, if California can do it for a recall of a Democrat governor, we can do this to save our own country. We can do this to save what's left of our republic. Because, like a friend of mine, we were talking last night, a friend of mine said, Shane, if we don't do this, our country's lost. Or no, his exact words were, I don't know what to do, but we need to do something. Otherwise, very shortly, our country's going to be lost. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. No, I understand where you're coming from, but the US Constitution laid this out for things like this that happen. Constitution and the way people perceive things definitely have to change. The Constitution we want to keep pure, but the Democrats and other left-wing groups want to turn us into Cuba. They want to turn us into Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico. I mean, we can't go backwards. We have to keep building on the Constitution. We have to keep the vital meaning of the U.S. Constitution. It is what has been the beacon all around the world. So, as far as going down rabbit holes, I wouldn't talk about this if people that I trust and I know personally, if they did not support it. I wouldn't even be discussing it because for me to go down that road and to discuss conspiracy theory, I lose legitimacy if things come out that doesn't make sense or is factually incorrect. Convention of States under Article 5 is allowed, and it is a remedy and law for fixing the Supreme Court, for fixing the legislature, for fixing the executive. So, but yeah. Sorry guys, I'm reading through everything, just kind of making sure I don't miss anything. But guys, the Convention of States is the best route forward that I've been able to ascertain. And time, I think you and I both agree. I mean, we talked about it. But I mean, absolutely. Guys, even if your state is blue, sign it. Because what these guys do is once you sign it and you like your address is in there and so on and so forth, once you sign it, it goes to the representatives of your district within your particular state and tells them, hey, they need to support this or they need voted out. They need to take this up. And if they don't, they have the constituents to answer to. That's how you guys hold people accountable. So definitely yeah, I'm not one of those people who there are people that are gonna pop in here, say some stuff that quite honestly don't mean anything to me. They're going to say that they want to do whatever. Well, we'll let them chatter. But so far we've been very fortunate. We haven't had a whole lot of problems with the trolls. As the channel builds, guaranteed they're gonna come in. And I'm just when trolls start showing up, it means that I'm doing something good. But yeah, and there may be a time for that, but I I don't believe that this is the right time as of yet. So sooner it might happen, but you'll be a moderator and give them size 9. Well, once we get to that point, we'll go there. But guys, so some of the biggest names in regards to who has endorsed the Convention of States. I'm sure you're going to recognize some of these guys here on the. You guys recognize any of them? Ron DeSantis, Lawrence Jones, Craig Abbott, and then you have Sean Hannity, Eric Bay, Texas, Ben Sass. He's dropped. They haven't updated this. Yep, but Ben Carson, Lawrence Reed, and then you had Sarah Palin, Dr. James Dobson, Marco Rubio, Huckabee, Pete Hegseth, Jindal, Steve Hilton, Jeff Duncan, Pete Kors, William Timmons. I mean, all some pretty notable people that we have grown to know, grown to trust. Jeb Bush, yeah, he's not in there anymore, but thank God. But yeah, there's quite a few people, guys. So I definitely, and of course, there's several places, several newspapers, and so on and so forth. But guys, we definitely want to make sure that you understand that there are very big names who are conservatives who believe in this cause. Mark Levin, yep, he's in there. They believe in this cause. They they believe that it is a hill to die on. They are pushing the same message forward. So I hope you guys aren't discussing me behind my back. Just kidding. I'm just giving people grief. But guys, again, like I said last night, it's not ask what my country can do for me, but it's ask what I can do for my country. We all have our parts to play. Whether we be young, whether we be 90 years old. I'm not saying that there's anybody that's 90 years old watching, but I mean, I definitely think that people need to understand that there has to be a path forward. And this is the most viable path that we have. Aside from literally having a civil war, which nobody wants. This is a viable path forward. This is a way for our voices to get heard. It is a way to fix everything that's wrong with Washington, including term limits and all that stuff for our senators and our legislatures. We have to do this. If we don't, we will lose our country. And very quickly at that. So get to work. We're not getting any younger. And no, I'm not blushing, but thanks, now I am. Yeah, it is a respectable way. We are actually engaging a grassroots movement. We are engaging in something that people can actually support. People can actually push for. Federal Reserve, you are the third person to bring up the Federal Reserve. So I'm gonna get that pulled up here quickly, guys. So I got a phone call from a patriot, and they were asking, "Well, what did you hear about the Federal Reserve?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I hadn't heard nothing, but my head's been buried in the sand all day, so that's not saying much. Okay, okay. Obviously, it's not there. I will have to send it to my phone. Operation error is not something that happens to a system like they use. That's correct. But sources are telling me that $1.7 trillion went missing. I don't know where it would have went, but they're saying $1.7 trillion went missing. Yeah, that's trillion with a T. The idea of the military savings is a lie. Yes and no. I and let me expand on that because I don't want people to be confused. The upper echelon of the military wants nothing to do with Trump. I'm talking the generals at the very top, the guys that sit on the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They want nothing to do with Trump. You have other generals that are not in high positions like that, in cabinet level positions that do support Trump and are willing to do everything they in their power that they can. Okay. So is it going to happen where it's just they're going to ride in on tanks? No. But they are doing things behind the scenes that are definitely going to help Americans. And they're definitely going to help save our country. Okay. Time, you're going to have to email that to me so I can pull it up on the screen. The high generals, the ones that sit on the Joint Chiefs, yeah, most of them, in fact, I would say 99% of them are bought and paid for swamp creatures. Was China? No, unfortunately, China is just a little bit too big to fit in the tunnels. No 200 generals in junior. I never said that. There are generals. I'm not going to give an exact number because the true exact number at this time is dangerous to say. So okay. If you're not going to send that to me, time, I guess I'm going to have to send it through myself. So hold on a second, guys. I will get that pulled up and we'll have that on the screen. So yeah, I'm just sorry. I was expecting to go a little bit longer, guys. So I apologize. Yeah, I can't select it. Time. That's why I had to send it a different way. But I got it. I don't have that one story about the Federal Reserve, but there is a funny story that I think everybody's going to get a laugh out of it. Everybody's all these Democrats were saying that they were never going to 25th Amendment Joe Biden. Exactly. So there always has to be a plan B. No operation in human history can ever happen without having a plan B. So, can you guys see that? So, guys, Joe Biden, right now we are sitting at day 37 of the train wreck called the Biden administration. And the Democrats are already talking about how they want to strip him of the sole authority to launch nuclear weapons. It's been a power that's been vested in the office of the presidency since nuclear weapons inceptions. So, a little bit of irony here. Everybody talked about how Trump was a maniac, but yet, and he was going to destroy this country. He's going to launch all these nuclear missiles, get us into a nuclear war. But yet, they never once, under President Trump, ever tried to pull this. So, are we going to have to deal with Kamala Harris? I think she is ambitious enough. I think she has a vote. The 25th him. They're just waiting to get him behind 100 days. Once his 100 days is up, I think he's done. I wouldn't take that to the bank yet, but I believe they have the votes, and I believe that after 100 days is up, he's gone. So, yeah, I just thought you guys would enjoy a little sense of humor and a little sense of irony when we're talking about Joe Biden and the fake presidency that he has. They talked about all this with Trump, but they didn't have the juice. They didn't even mention taking away the nuclear button. But now that Biden's in, and they know he's not cognitively well. In fact, in my opinion, it's a worst case of elder abuse I've ever seen. But so yeah. But I'm sure you guys are going to have questions here soon. So just quick pull this up. The news is slowly coming on board. Yeah, they're slow to pick up on what's going down, but I think it's all going to come out in the end. Kamala will be the first. She'll be the if she got in, she'd be the first female president, and she would also have the honor of being the first female president to ever be impeached. And she would never live that down. How you doing, Alpha? I'm glad to see you here. Why are we allowing them to go on with this public fiasco? Because the American system. I've heard plenty about the Canadian system, and I wish we had that here in the United States for voting. The way you guys vote in your elections, from what I understand, is probably one of the most ingenious ways of eliminating a lot of this crap we're going through. So, but yeah, I'm glad to see all the new people. I mean, definitely one of the highest grossing nights where we were hitting over 50 people. So I'm glad that the messages are being shared. I'm glad people are talking about stuff. You'd love to be able to talk to me one-on-one. Definitely send me an email and I'll reach out to you. If you get me, I have the ability to call you. So if you get me your telephone number via email, I will reach out to you. So, but okay, so one last story, and we kind of alluded to it earlier with the Federal Reserve. So we're going to jump into that one, and then we're going to take some questions. We're going to jump into the meat and potatoes. So, guys, every person who believes that the money that you have in your pocket is, I think everybody here pretty much believes that their money is worth something, right? Show of hands. If I handed you a $20 bill, you would accept it because it's worth something. I think we can all agree that. What if I told you that the entire banking industry was just a series of computer programs that literally transfers digits from one account to another? And the bills that are in production have zero value. They just back up what the bank account says. Would you believe me? I'm just curious. Yeah. What the world? Um, guys, did you guys lose me in regards to the screen? Can you see me at all? Okay. I'm gonna then I'm trying to fix that. So give me just a second. Yeah, guys, sorry, I'm trying to figure out my camera is saying that it's on, but nothing's showing. So I apologize. Yeah, I suppose that showed just fine. Yeah, something's going on with my camera, guys. So I'm gonna. I know you can't see me, so I'm going to just answer a couple questions, guys, and then get things wrapped up so I can figure out what's going on with my camera. So, probably just pinched you. Okay. Yeah, guys, I apologize. I really don't like the fact that my camera just went down all of a sudden. But I guess that's why you don't talk about you don't talk about the Federal Reserve in such a poor light. But yeah, any questions that I can get answered for you guys? I know I was going to ask earlier, but if you have, unplug it and then okay. I actually have to figure out which one it is. So oh, it's because it's too hot, guys. It shut off because the camera was too hot. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go get me a new camera. Oh boy. Bummer the luck. Yeah, I do believe that She does scare people. She scares a lot of people. Peaches, where are you hearing that Biden's dead? Do I believe he has an actor in the White House? There's a possibility. There's a strong possibility. But yes, I do have PayPal. Um, I can get you guys a link if that's what you're looking for. They are saying he's cloned. I've seen a lot of cloning technology, but I don't 100% believe that he's cloned. I don't believe that they've been able to clone him that well. So okay, I'm gonna I know you guys, there's a lot of patriots on here that are really fast with their fingers. If you could see if my website's up, if it is, the donate button's up top. I'm not 100% sure. I'm actually having to do stuff the old. Yeah, I don't know if the website's up yet. If it is, let me know. Otherwise, you can the email address if you're looking to donate something or whatever. I can't remember who it was that was asking about it, but if you type that into PayPal, you can actually do. People were saying no, that's fictional. We if if you send an email to me, I can actually send you a link to the last show that we did, Alpha, that will go in depth and explain where to look for the actual tribunals that are going on and where to actually find all that detail. We can show you that. If you can't, guys, right there, admin at patriotnewsnetwork.us is the same as the PayPal account. So website is up, but not your content. Okay, we will get that fixed. Yep, just send an email to admin at patriotnewsnetwork.us and we will get that over to you, Alpha. Any other questions that okay. Yeah, Ariel, everybody, like I said, there's some growing pains. We just migrated it over, so hopefully we can get that up and running fairly quickly for you guys. Yeah, it'll be down briefly, but I will hope to have that up and running by midnight tonight. So, but I apologize, guys. Not the way I wanted to end the live stream with a dead camera, but as always, we do appreciate every single one of you. I don't know. I know how much this one cost. So, and that was $99. But if people are getting refunded, I'm shocked. But yeah, definitely, guys, as always, I appreciate all the support you guys have given us. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us. I appreciate everything that you guys have. You guys actually mean more to us, the people behind the scenes working. I know I don't mention them too much, but everybody contributes there a little bit. So just remember, guys, you have a mic, you have a camera, or you have a mic, you got a pencil. Time to use them. We have a petition to circulate. We have friends and family to talk to. We have people that we need to acknowledge, whether they're at the grocery store, whether they're at the supermarket, whether they're at Walmart. We have people to talk to. Go and get those people. Talk to them. Tell them about what we're doing here. Talk to them and say that, hey, there's this guy who is talking about this crazy idea called the Convention of States that's supported through Article 5 of the US Constitution. Good luck. You guys, I don't envy you, Alpha. I've done that. You're gonna be a busy person. Yep, we're gonna talk to people about the Convention of States. Share with them the link that we sent out to everybody. I'm glad to see that you're here, Patty. I Does MD mean you're a doctor? I'm just curious. Because if it is, let's chat. So, yeah, you guys, we all have our part to do, but you guys have your mics. You guys have your pencils. God bless. Take care. Okay. I was just curious. But you guys have a great night. But God bless you guys. God bless America.